Tour Striker Nation, Martin Chuck here. And you know, we're creatures of habit and development. So what do I mean by that? When you play golf, you're gonna figure out a way to do things as best you can. You know, nobody likes to miss, so we always sort of figure out a golf swing. You know, the great Arnold Palmer said, swing your swing. Well, sometimes your swing doesn't work very well, and that's why you're watching this video. Because we see a lot of golfers, when they swing their swing, they get the golf club and they get in a situation where the club gets very, very steep. And then from here, your only chance you have to hit a functional shot is to unhinge your hands really quickly and stand up. So we see this all the time, some kind of a late attempt to shallow the golf club onto the ball, a lot of thumbing down, ulnar deviation really quick, and you can get the club on it, but they're not crisp, reliable strikes. Let me give you another example and paint a picture for you. If I took this aim stick, held it in my hands, you can see that a little bit of input, rotation from my forearm, creates a lot of speedy output in the end of this stick right here. So what you see is an angle between the forearm and the shaft, and I can get this speed happening pretty quickly. Now, if I have a situation where the shaft, this orange aim stick and my arm are in alignment and I rotate my forearm, all I'm really doing there, I'm not moving the end of that with any speed at all. And the same thing happens with your golf swing. So think about that. If I take a golf club and I put it in alignment with my lead arm, completely in alignment, and I rotate my lead arm, all I get is a lot of chaos with the club face and no speed with the club face. If I have a little angle retained, really important, and I have rotation in this forearm, I have basically a nice closure of the club face, but that little bit of forearm motion makes the club head still have speed. So that's why we invented the Tour Striker Impact Strap. So let me explain what this is going to teach you wonderful folks out there who've developed golf swings maybe you're not happy with. So we're going to put this on our lead hand, in my case my left hand. It goes snugly above the wrist. Basically I have a wrist strap and I have a tension strap, and you can see here that the tension strap is adjustable and it doesn't let me fully uncock the golf club, which is one of the keys for you learning how to move the club successfully into a great impact position. So if I have a steep swing that's going to deliver over the top, the strap, the tension strap, doesn't really let me have this late fit-in move, and that's the purpose of this device. It gives you some negative feedback so you learn how to do it correctly. So here's how we're going to get started with your impact strap. Go ahead and tee up a golf ball. We're going to go to this delivery position here that golf pro nerds like me, we call this position P6. And P6 is when the shaft is parallel to the ground for the last time. This is that critical juncture where the club is going to work down onto the golf ball with a little bit of pivot, and you can see from the face on camera, the shaft is forward leaning, the hands have already passed where the golf ball is, the club is orbiting inside out and downward onto a golf ball. This inside out and downward motion is the motion that we're trying to help you understand and train in from the events that you did prior to your investment in the impact strap. So we're going to grip the golf club, feel that little bit of tension, that subtle angle between the lead arm and the shaft, tip over to the golf ball, find the golf ball, and just nice and easy, let's hit a few golf shots off of a tee to get started. I'm going to go halfway back, halfway through. Just let the golf balls fly. And here's what you're learning here. Since we can't go over the top, we can't fix it. We have to have the golf club more down in front of us so that pivot matters, so that when we unwind a bit, the club is orbiting inside out. And when it does that, the handle is already ahead of the golf ball, shaft lean is built in, the closure to square onto the golf ball is happening, and you get the automatic orbit of the club inside out. So let's do another little shot here. Keep the ball on a tee until you get familiar with it. Put in a little bit of tension. Aim the face. Set the feet. Understand that key delivery position right here, where this club is going to pass through. Let the ball get in the way of that event. and you pretty much have a built-in draw almost guaranteed. In fact, it's really hard to slice a golf ball using the impact strap. Now you're gonna fight it, everybody does, but once you start to realize that this little bit of input creates all this rotational output, and then when you can tip this over, that same little event happening on this incline to the golf ball is what gets the golf club to travel from inside outward to the end of out, collecting the ball with forward lean on the journey to its finishing form. So getting started with your impact strap. Let's go ahead and put a ball on a tee, adjust the tensioner, hit some little shots with an 8-iron, and then we can progress into stronger, longer clubs.